Hi dear children, welcome to English class. So we have completed 4 chapters and today we are going to begin a new chapter, the elves and the shoemaker. The elves and the shoemaker. So this is a beautiful story, an interesting story which we are going to study and we will see what is happening in this story. So it's a story of a poor shoemaker. Who is shoemaker? The one who makes shoes, isn't it? Or one who mends shoes. So we all like to wear beautiful shoes, isn't it? So this is a story of a shoemaker and he was very poor man and his life changed with a small magic. So that is the theme or the content of the story. So when we read or when we go on, we will understand what's the story. So let's see what the story is. So the name of the chapter is The Elves and the Shoemaker. So what's the name of the story? The Elves and the Shoemaker. The Elves and the Shoemaker. So it's a story of a poor shoemaker and his wife, and their life changed with a little magic. Little magic means with a small magic. So let's read the chapter, read the story and understand better. One evening, a shoemaker sat at his workbench cutting leather to make shoes. One day, the shoemaker was sitting on his workbench. Workbench means the place where he is sitting and making shoes. And he was cutting leather. You know, to make beautiful shoes, we need leather. Leather means it's a skin of processed skin of animals. Animal skin, so processed, it do many activities, then it form as a leather. So with that leather, the shoemaker was making shoes. One evening, he was sitting on his workbench and cutting leather to make shoes. Snip, snap, snip, snap. You know, when we cut something, some sound is coming from the scissors, isn't it? So it also made some sound like a snip, snap. When his pair of scissors. After some time, he felt tired. So he was sitting on his workplace, on his workbench and cutting leathers. Then after some time, he felt tired. You know, when you do something, after some time you also feel tired, isn't it? So like that, this shoemaker also felt tired. I am tired, he said. I am tired. I will sew them tomorrow, he thought. Then he thought, I am very tired now, so I will sew the shoe tomorrow. What is sewing? Sewing means using needle and thread to stitch something. Have you seen the tailors are stitching with the needle and thread? Or have you seen your mummy is stitching something with the thread and needle? Yes. So like that, this man also sewing shoes with the needle and thread. So after cutting leather, he felt tired and he thought he will take a rest. He will take a rest and he will sew the next day. Then, what is for dinner tonight? He asked to his wife, what is for dinner tonight? You also asked to mom, what is for eating, or what is for lunch, or what is for breakfast? So like that, that man asked, what is for dinner tonight? He asked his wife. The shoemaker asked to his wife. There was no bread. The cupboard was empty. So the shoemaker asked to his wife, what is for dinner? For having dinner, what is there? Then his wife replied, there is nothing to eat. The cupboard is empty. The cupboard was empty. The shoemaker and his wife went to bed hungry. So there was nothing to eat. Both of them went to bed without eating, hungry. They went to bed hungry. The next morning, the shoemaker woke up and went to his workbench. Again, next day, the shoemaker woke up and went to his workplace. Then there he saw a pair of beautiful shoes. The previous night, there was nothing to eat. They both of them went to bed hungry, and he woke up next morning and went to his workbench, and there was a big surprise. There was a big wonder. He was surprised. What was there? There on his bench, there was a pair of beautiful shoes. Who made them? He himself asked. Who made them? Wondered the shoemaker. He was wondered. The stitches are so beautiful and tiny. So those beautiful shoes had beautiful stitches and it was very beautiful and tiny. Who could make shoes like this? Asked his wife. Then by seeing that, his wife asked, who could make like this beautiful shoes? He sold the shoes for a very good price. He had enough money to buy food and leather to make more shoes. So it was a beautiful pair of shoes. The shoemaker sold that shoes with a good price, and with that money he bought sufficient food for them and also leather for making more shoes. The shopkeeper and his wife had warm soup with bread for supper, and that day they had hot soup and bread for supper. Why? Because they got money by selling those beautiful pair of shoes. Then after dinner he went to his workbench. Snip snap went his scissors. Soon he got tired. So that day also he went to his workplace and started cutting leather. Then after cutting leather he got tired. Then he told, I will stitch these in the morning. So that day he stopped his working and he said that he will stop today's work and sew it in the next morning. So this is the story, and the rest of the story we will see in the next class. So let's read. Please read along with me. Okay. One evening a shoemaker sat at his workbench cutting leather to make shoes. Snip snap went his pair of scissors. After some time he felt tired. I am tired. I will sew them tomorrow, he thought. What is for dinner tonight? He asked his wife. There was no bread in the cupboard. The cupboard was empty. The shoemaker and his wife went to bed hungry. The next morning, the shoemaker woke up and went to his workbench. There was a big surprise. On his bench was a pair of beautiful shoes. Who made them? Wondered the shoemaker. The stitches are so beautiful and tiny. Who could make shoes like this? Asked his wife. He sold the shoes for a very good price. He had enough money to buy food and leather to make more shoes. The shoemaker and his wife had warm soup with bread for supper. After dinner, he went to his workbench. Snip snap went his scissors. Soon he tired. I am tired, he said. I will stitch these in the morning. So you have to read this passage at least 3 times. Okay. Then learn the new words. First one is leather. What's the spelling of leather? L-E-A-T-H-E-R, leather. What's the meaning? A material made from the skin of an animal. So this is the picture of leather. It is used for making belt, then jackets, shoes, etc. So the meaning of leather is material made from the skin of an animal. Sew. Sew means stitch with the needle and thread. Use needle and thread to stitch something. Then wondered. Wondered means surprised. Wondered means surprised. Then what's the homework? Today's homework is you have to read the textbook. The passage what we have studied up to there, you have to read 3 times and also write new words in the notebook and learn. Okay, the rest of the story we will see in the next, we will study next class. Today's class is over. Thank you.